in order for us to get a raise, we have to go to the public and prove that we deserve it. Well, I think we do. The cost of living here is causing serious problems for people who are not wealthy to be able to serve in this institution.
Hey, what? An annual salary of $174,000, not quite enough for this Florida Democrat. I'll say Hastings demanding a pay hike for lawmakers like himself to keep up with the growing cost of living. Now, his point, Charles, is that, you know, it's been 2009 since we had a hike in pay there. That a lot of them will be, you know, obviously back to this hating argument. We're stepping back, fair and balanced here. His point is, you know, congressmen have to have two homes, and a lot of them shack up in the same place in D.C. I'll leave the details to your imagination. But my point is that it's not what it seems. It's not what it seems, and a hike is in order. You say what?
Yeah, having money is not as easy. 174 grand a year. How many Americans would laugh that someone would be crying about how tough it is to get by 174 grand a year? I mean, but
right, so I'm going to take it you're against this. You're against
you know what? I think he should quit or be quiet.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the circle of idiocy that is Washington. You make government bigger. You bring more people into the D.C. metro area. Yeah. The cost of living goes through the roof. Housing prices, whether you're renting or owning, go through the roof. And then they want government to essentially get bigger in terms of the cost because they now need a raise. Please make it stop.
Now, that was actually brilliant.
It was. That was very good. Brilliant. That was very good. That was very, very good. But here's the thing I'll raise with you, Charlie, that in the argument here that they're going to look for more money, and that they haven't gotten money since 2009.
And you feel really bad about that.
Do you think we should have something instead like a pay for performance? If whatever you do, these are the standards by which metric we will use to pay you more. Well, why should all congressmen be paid the same amount of money?
My view is we'll never agree to that performance, those standards. The liberals will say, well, it's passing more laws and raising more taxes. The conservatives will say
it also means accountability.
Right, but there's different ways of being accountable. I would say this: no, we shouldn't give them raises. We should make life miserable for them. If they want, listen, my view is this: if they want to be public servants, we should pay them almost, you know, we should pay them basic room and board money.
Well, here's the danger of it, Ben Stein. Here's the danger that we end up getting a Congress filled with millionaires, which is kind of what we have right now. And do you want that? And did our forefathers envision that?
Yes. No, I don't think they did. The Senate is a rich man's club. The House, not quite so much. But I think these guys work incredibly hard. They are really on the job 7 days a week, many hours each day. I think they're very underpaid. A congressman is paid about the same as a starting lawyer rather, at a big law firm, less than a starting investment banker. They work very hard. Their work is incredibly important. I would have no problem if they raised their pay to $1 million a year. They really work very, very hard, and I think they deserve a lot more pay than they get. I think they're wildly starved in terms of their pay.
Subway drivers,
this isn't a joke. They really work very, very hard.
I think subway drivers work harder, and I think subway drivers. No, I think people that work for the New York City Sanitation Department work really hard. I think they should get paid a lot more money. We should point out these are government jobs.
This is why what you're saying is not. You're not being serious.
A lot of people give
Adam, what do you make of that? Now, I don't know why I'd go up to the million that Ben mentioned, but I do think they're due a raise. I do. But go ahead.
I don't either. But what I will say, this is a small group of people. If we just focus on the House, 435 people who are helping run this country. And yeah, I think I would do two things. I would pay them a lot more money, commensurate with what they could get in the private sector, and then I would do really draconian rules that make it difficult for them to make money elsewhere. They should be devoted
guys, you
to their
missed why you interrupted him. You missed the key point he made. The second part where it make it really difficult for them to do some of the criminal, heinous things they do. Someone should get additional.
What about how many of these people have come to Washington and become millionaires while they're in office, how their spouses have become millionaires while they're in office?
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, you're a public servant, okay? Either you want the job or you don't. You ask people to vote for you.
Why do you have to be there forever?
You're not starving.
Why do you have to be there forever?
You know, we got people in the military. I was in the military. There was only a certain rank I could get up to, period. If I wanted to do more than that in my life, I had to get out of the military. If anybody deserves a raise, it's the men and women in the military.
Charles, they do deserve a big raise in the military. Police deserve a big raise. Firefighters deserve a big raise. I think the public sector is generally, not always, greatly underpaid. Supreme Court justices.
Well, where's that money going to come from, Ben? Where's that money going to come from?
They can write a check from it. It turns out it doesn't cost anything. They just print the money for it.
Listen, it's called public servants. You don't have to do it forever. You do it for a couple terms, and you go.
Wait a minute. Wasn't your dad in a union?
Yes.
Okay.
But he was actually
all right. That's
one of the shades.
Does someone have to tell your boss it's a 3-day week